Lisa's Real Spill. Y'all know what we do over here. We just keep it real. We keep it simple, but we keep it real. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Lisa's Real Spill. Y'all know. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Make sure it says all so that when I go live, you'll get notified. What it do, good people? What it do? What it do? Hey, listen. I got something to talk about. Excuse me. I got something to talk about with y'all tonight. I titled this video, Nothing is Perfect, right? Because nothing is perfect. What happens is when you start something or you step out there and you start something and you be consistent with it, what happens is it gets better and better. As you be consistent with it, it gets better and better. And it ends up getting perfect for you. It ends up becoming perfect for you. You understand? Does that make sense? It ends up becoming perfect for you. Okay? I'm gonna wait a few minutes and give people a chance to come, or at least my numbers will start hitting. I tell you this, nothing is perfect. And like I was just saying, if you step out on something and you try something, yeah, it's going to get better and better. Don't expect perfection when you just starting out on it. Don't expect it to be perfection or perfect, because nothing is perfect. The only one that can make perfect things is the Creator. Okay, but what happens is when you start something, what happens is if you stick with it and you stay consistent, it gets better and better and better. You know, like when I first started coming on the internet and I created my page and stuff. When I first came on here, I wasn't talking like this. I mean, I was always kind of comfortable, but it's then got better with time. Okay? The more I stay consistent, the more I stick and stay and be consistent, it gets better with time. But nothing is perfect. Come on. When you want to start something, just start it. Don't worry about if it looks like, if it looks good or if it looks like this or you don't think it look like that. That's what stops some of us. That's what keeps some of us from even starting, because we worried about how something look, how something sound. You understand what I'm saying? If you starting something new, right? You just feel your way, but start. It could be messy, but start. Because as you go along, it's going to get better. It's going to get better and better as you go along. Hi, Brandon. How you doing? It's the best part is. It's the best part is. How you doing, Brandon? Thank you for tapping in with me. I appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you. But yeah, we have to remind ourselves of that, because some people don't start because they feel like it's not good enough. It's not going to be good enough. It's not going to look good enough. It's not going to sound good enough. Don't worry about all that. Just start. And once you get started and you stick and stay and be consistent, with time, it's going to get better and better and better. And that's with anything. That's with anything. You try things, different things in your life. Excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. You try better things. You try things in your life, and as you go, if as you do them, it's going to get better and better and better, and eventually it will be perfect for you. Okay, it's not going to be like it's perfect. It's just perfect, but it will get to a point where it's though it's perfect for you, and that's all that matter. That's all that matter is that you get it to that point where it's perfect for you. You understand what I'm saying? And so, get started. Do something. Do something, but don't sit there and make excuses for you not to start. You understand what I'm saying? Don't sit there and make excuses for you not to get started. Just start. Shit, I don't care what it is. Long as it's something you like to do, let's get started. Let's get started and create something for ourselves because you never know where it's going to take you at. You never know. But if you don't do nothing, you won't get nothing. That's just how that works. And I listen, when I come on here and I be talking to y'all, I always dropping some knowledge or wisdom for y'all. I always do. I ain't no gatekeeper. I tell y'all stuff because I feel as though some of y'all need to know. Some of y'all may already know what I'm saying. But somewhere somebody needs to know. And I want y'all to get motivated and start doing stuff to help yourself. If you're not doing something, I want you to do something. Because the job, like I say, the 9 to 5s, hey, everywhere you look, somebody's getting laid off. Every time you look up, somebody somewhere is getting laid off. So we need to do something. We need to figure out something that we can do so that we can, be able to take care of ourselves and our families. So start something. Don't sit back and you know, don't sit back and all right, hydraulic, Hindi, or however you pronounce your name. Please don't come in here with disrespect. Do not come in here with disrespect, okay? Because I don't want to have to show the flip side of me. So please don't come on my channel with no disrespect. Please, let's not do that. Let's not do that. For real. Yeah, so let's not do that. I can't stand that. If you're coming on a channel and you don't want to be on the channel, keep it pushing. Don't go on people's channel being disrespectful, trolling. That's ridiculous how people be trolling. I can't stand that. It gets on my nerves. Well, I blocked you. Because that's what I do for most people that come over here. And they come over here with that foolishness, I block you. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. But anywho, back to what I was saying. Do something to better yourself. I always talk, when I'm talking to people, I always tell them, if you're not evolving and elevating and growing, is something wrong. You should always be elevating and growing, evolving and elevating. That's growth. You should always be growing. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, find something that you can do that you like to do. We all got something inside of us that we like to do. And nothing is perfect. So don't make excuses and reasons about this not right, that's not right. You want to start a YouTube channel, start it. But don't make excuses not to start so you won't start. That's how I look at that. When people start talking about this ain't right, that ain't right, and stuff, oh, just don't sound right. Oh, I don't look right. I don't want to go on camera. You don't want to go on camera? Then do like I do. Make you a one of these things here and use that. Sometime I'm on camera, sometime I'm off camera. It doesn't matter to me. You know, I'm comfortable in my skin. I love me. So I don't worry about what people think about me. You know what I'm saying? It's about how I feel about myself. It doesn't matter to me what the world thinks. What matters to me is what I think about myself. And that's where some of y'all got to get to. You got to get to that place where you love you. And what other people think about you doesn't matter. You know, I done cut so many people out my life. And not that I'm angry. It has nothing to do with being angry. It's just that people that I cut out my life doesn't need access to me because they don't know how to treat me. You understand what I'm saying? They don't know how to treat me, and they don't know how to, how can I put it? They don't know how to treat me, and they don't know how to respect me. And you have to get to a point in your life where as though you set boundaries and you have to stand on them. You can't let people be disrespectful to you. You can't let people try to walk over you. You understand? And at some point, when you tell people what they doing to you that's not right and they just continue to keep doing it, that means they don't respect you. And so at some point, you got to cut that off. You got to cut that off. Hi, Big Vaughn. He said, turn to God. He's the only way. The living word, the Bible has all the answers. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Oh, I'm familiar with that. I'm definitely familiar with that. Thanks for sharing that, though. I appreciate it. But yeah, you have to at some point you have to set boundaries, right? And stand on them. If that means uh blocking people out your life, then that's what you got to do. But I just don't accept disrespect. And when I tell you, I've had talks with these people and told them what they did to me, and the things that they do to me I don't like, and it hurts my feelings, and they insist on doing it. So that meant to me they didn't care. They don't care how I feel. You know, it doesn't matter to them how I feel. And so I had to stop communicating with them altogether. And they my family. They family. And I had to just, block them out, period. And like I said, I'm not upset about it. I wish it could be different, but it don't seem like it's going to get there. And you know what? Sometimes you outgrow people. You outgrow people, and some people get mad with you because they see that you have outgrown them and they can't accept it. They can't accept it. So they poke at you and try to tear you down. Or try to try to tear you down or try to make you feel, less than or whatever. And when they see that it's not working, they try even harder. But at some point, you don't have to let people keep doing that to you. So I blocked them. They can't contact me. They can contact my children, but they can't contact me. And my kids respect my boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't call one of my children and say, put your mother on the phone. No, call my mother. My children will tell them, call my mother phone. I can't get through to your mother phone. Well, evidently she blocked you. And she must have blocked you for a reason. I don't cross my mother boundaries. My kids gonna say that. Because they know if I blocked them, it was a reason why. I didn't just do it just to be doing it, just being mean. My kids know me very well. And they know if I did that, it was a reason behind it. We got together, me and my sisters got together one day, and my sister was up here from out of town because three of us live in the same city and one of us don't. And so she came up, and so my oldest sister called me and say, can you come over? I wanted y'all to come, wanted us to get together for a while our other sister was up here. And it was kind of against my, I wasn't going to go at first. So my sister kept calling me, kept calling, you coming? You come. Don't say you coming, you don't come. I want you to come. So I went, and of course, it was some stuff behind it, like always. It's always some shit behind it when I hook up with them, okay? But I ignored it. I ignored it. I prayed, and then I ignored it. I just ignored everything. We took some pictures together, and I said, "Oh, the pictures came out nice. Here they go." Oh, I guess they did. I guess we would say that. You the best looking one in the picture. So at first, I thought they were joking, right? I thought it wasn't my older sister, it was my other two sisters. I thought they were joking, when they said that. And I said, "Oh, girl, go ahead." And I started laughing. So then she kept saying it. And she kept saying it over and over again. "I guess you do like the pictures. I guess you do. You the best looking one in the picture." I said, "Whatever." I never gave her, no, what's her name? Because, see, if that had have been me back in the day, I'd have punched her in her mouth. Like, seriously. I'd have punched her. Probably would have knocked her out. But I didn't. And I blocked it out. I just blocked it, you know. And then I got ready. I said, "Well, I'm getting ready to go home. I've been here long enough. It's time for me to go." And I got up, to go on about my business. And she said something about the picture again. So when she said it that time, I said, "Well, it seems like you got the problem with the picture, not me. So you deal with it." That's what I told you, deal with it. Because you got the problem with the picture. I don't have no problem with the picture. You do. You don't like it? Tell them to delete them. Excuse me. I said, "I don't care what you do with them." I said, "I only took the pictures because y'all wanted to take the pictures." I said, "But I could care less what y'all do with the pictures. And if it's bothering you that bad, then tell them to delete the pictures." "Oh, go ahead, girl. I'll go ahead. Go ahead." I said, "I am. I'm going on." hmm So after that same one, she gonna go to my daughter and try to talk about me. So it really pissed me off, right? I was furious. Oh, I was furious. And so I said, when I seen her, I was just gonna pluck her. So I talked to my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law said, "Don't do that, Lisa. Don't do that." I said, "Man, I'm not trying to hear what you saying right now." I said, "What you saying ain't making sense to me right now." I said, "When I see her, I'm going to treat her like somebody in the street, and I'm going to pluck her." So my sister-in-law said, "Lisa, we need to talk." I said, "It's nothing to talk about. What is it to talk about? She going to go to my daughter and try to talk about me to my daughter? To my daughter?" I said, I would never have done that." So my sister-in-law came over my house, and we sat down, we talked. And she said, "Lisa," she said, "don't do that." I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "I know how you get down." She said, "I done seen you in plenty of stuff." She said, "Don't go that way with it." She said, "That's what they trying to do, is get up under your skin." I said, "Well, they sure got up under my skin this time." I said, "I'm going to react. I'm going to react." Oh, I was so heated. I was. But eventually, I didn't get to see her. So eventually, I did get to calm down. Okay, because I didn't get to see her. So I did get to calm down. And I said, "Okay." So me and my daughter talked. My daughter said, "Ma, let it go. Let it go, Ma. Let it go, because you're going to go to jail." And I said, "I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go." I had prayed and stuff. I asked God to remove the anger and the anger I had on me. I asked him to move it. I'm serious. I prayed hard. I had to pray hard because that's how bad it was. I was very, very angry. And see, my past, I get angry, I react, I go to jail. I get angry, I react, I go to jail. And it's not a good thing. It's not. And I haven't been to jail in a long time, okay? But I was willing to go when I seen her. But I did. I prayed on it and I got it together. I said, "Thank you, Lord." Oh, I was crying and everything. I said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Because I was just so angry. Like, when family do things to you, it bothers you. I don't know about if any of y'all have been through anything with your family members, but I know for me, it bothered me. Okay. And it was hurtful. It was very hurtful. And by it being your family, you don't you don't expect for your family to try to hurt you. You know? I think that's why it bothers me so. It got to me like that because I was just surprised that my family, somebody who's my family, would try to hurt me, you know? And I guess that's why it bothered me and it triggered me the way it did. But I got it together. And what I did is I blocked them from me. I leave them alone now. And like I said, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. If it was something wrong with one of them and they need me, I would go. I would definitely go to help out, you know. But as far as that, it's other than that, I leave them alone. Because one thing I learned that they don't love me. Okay? And today I love myself. When you start loving yourself, you don't let people do anything to you. You don't let people walk on you. You don't let people treat you bad and try to make you like it. You understand what I'm saying? And so I blocked them out my life. Yes, I did. I had to. Because it wasn't getting any better. I had talked to them and told them what I felt and how I felt about some of the things they had done. And it was like everybody was ignoring me. You know, like it wasn't that serious or whatever. It was like a whatever type of thing. And so I said, okay. Okay, I didn't argue nothing. So I blocked everybody. And now I don't have no communication with anyone. And I'm okay with that. Because until you learn how to respect me the way I respect you, that's how it's going to be. You stay in your lane and I'm going to stay in my lane. That's how it's got to be. Because I'm not going to go for nobody disrespecting me, you know? Because I'm not that type of person. I don't go around disrespecting people. I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. And that's something that I see a lot of people have a problem with doing, is treating people the way they wish to be treated. We got to get better with that. We got to show more love. We do. We got to start showing more love to one another. Because the world is in chaos and confusion. And I'm telling you, the only thing that's going to get you through is love. Learning to love one another. And so that's what I practice today. I practice loving people, doing something nice for people, being kind to people. That's what I've been practicing. And that's what a lot of people need to start practicing. But some of us are so hateful and mean. And a lot of that hateful and mean stuff comes from within. And it comes from how you feel about you. That's where people or hateful stuff come from. It comes from the way you feel about yourself. That's why some people are so mean and and treat people so mean and nasty to people. It's because you don't feel good about who you are as a person. When you look in the mirror and stuff, you don't feel good about yourself. And that's why some of you treat people so mean and nasty, because you don't feel good about who you are. For whatever the reason is, you don't feel good about yourself. And that's where the hate people, that hateful stuff and mean stuff come from people. I'm telling you, I've talked to so many people who used to be hateful and mean. And a lot of that stuff was coming from them because they didn't feel good about themselves. And they didn't know what to do about it. And a lot of them was dealing with trauma. Trauma that they was carrying around inside of them. That's why they were so mean and hateful. Because of the trauma. And the way the trauma was making them feel about themselves. And that's why I talk so much about healing. Healing yourself, getting on your healing journey, and cleansing yourself, and making yourself a better person. Yes, I love what I teach because I've been there. I've been through it. And it's a beautiful thing to go through. Yes, at the beginning, you're going to go through a storm but a storm don't last forever. Just like nature. When we have a storm, it don't last forever. That's the same thing with our life. We have storms in our life. They don't last forever. But when you make it through that storm, it's a beautiful thing. Hi, Pink Stars. How you doing? She say, hi, girl. Hi, girl. It's a beautiful thing, though. It really is. When you start healing and changing, within yourself, changing your inner self, it's a beautiful thing. Now, when you first start out, it's rocky. It's a little rocky because you starting to see things for what they are. You becoming aware of yourself, your inner self. And so at the beginning, it's a little rocky, right? Because your emotions and your feelings be kind of like all over the place. But with time, right? With time, it gets better. If you trust the process and you stay in the healing journey, it gets better with time. It really do. And when you look up, you will be in a good space. You're here to be in a good space. You will be loving yourself. I'm telling you, I've been there. I'm a recovering heroin addict. I snorted dope for years. I've been clean for over 20 years. And that's why I'm so into this and I'm so passionate about it, because I've been through it. I've been through it. And it's a beautiful thing to start your healing journey where you can cleanse yourself and rebuild yourself from the inside out. It's beautiful. It is so beautiful. Pink Star say, you're so right. You give amazing advice. Thank you so much for this. You're welcome. You are so welcome, baby. I love it. I love doing this because I like to see people be the best version of themselves. And I like to motivate people, because I meet so many people that they want to do different things in their life, but they let certain things stop them, you know? And I be talking to them, and I just, give them advice and things like that. Sometimes I do coaching one on one, and I just give people good advice, and I help them through different problems that they go through. Excuse me, especially like when they dealing with trauma and things like that. Yeah, and I love it. I love doing this. This is my thing right here. I really do. Like people who are addicts, I talk to them. If they want to talk to me or something, I talk to them. But I love this. And one day I really want to open up me a recovery house for women and children, right? Because I remember when I was out there, they didn't have a lot of stuff for women and children, you know? A lot of times the women was ending up losing their children to the system because they were getting high and they didn't have nobody to, keep the child while they went in treatment or nothing. So a lot of times they ended up losing their children to the system. And I always said I was going to open up me a recovery house where I could help women and children, you know, and to keep their children from going in the system. So, we'll see what happens though. We'll see what happens. Yep. I believe you can do that because what you're doing right now is wonderful. You really should open a house. I haven't gave up on it. It's still a goal of mine. But that is something I would like to do. And if it works out, I would like to get one for men and then one for women and children. Because I feel like all the wisdom and knowledge I got, I definitely could help them, not just with addiction, but rebuilding their self, help them to heal. Because a lot of times when you talk to people who are addicts, right? Alcoholics, addicts, whatever, they have trauma that they dealing with within themselves a lot of times. And that's why they take and they start getting high. Because something be done happened to them and they be still holding on to it. And some people be holding on to stuff that it don't even be their fault. It don't even be their fault. But they still be holding on because they feel like it's their fault. Right? Like when people get SA. A lot of times it don't be their fault. But they feel like it's their fault because people have made them feel like they did something wrong. And a lot of times all it takes is for somebody to say to them, it was not your fault. It's okay. Let's let this go. It was not your fault. And a lot of them will just break down real hard. I've done it so many times with other people, right? And I had a one-on-one talk with them. And yeah, as soon as I say, well, that wasn't your fault. It was not your fault. We gotta let it go. We're gonna work on letting this go. Because this not even your fault that this happened to you. And a lot of them will just be bawling. They'll just break down. Because for so long, they've been carrying it around thinking that it was their fault. People made them feel like it was their fault that happened to them. You know? It be messed up sometimes. And people be carrying that stuff around for a long time. Like some of the people I talked to, it happened to them in their childhood. But these people was like 30 years old, right? And they were still holding on to it. They were still holding on to it. Yeah. And I never forget it. We were sitting there. She called me and we got on the Zoom and we was talking and she was telling me her story and everything, what had happened. And she said she just can't let it go. Cause she felt like she did something wrong and she got what she deserved. And I was like, oh no, baby. Let's back up a minute. We gonna start right now today letting this go. And all I told her was it wasn't her fault. People made you feel like it was your fault. so you wouldn't tell it. But it was not your fault. And when I told her that, she just looked at me and bawled. She was crying so hard. I wish I could have hugged her, and just held her. But we was on the Zoom, and she was crying so hard. Mm-mm-mm. But she doing so much better now. You say, nope, no good. Got to let it go. It's never their fault. That's right. That's right. But a lot of people do be thinking it's their fault. That's why they carry it around so long, and they have a hard time letting it go. Because a lot of times what I've seen with people is that um the parents or somebody in their family, when this happens to them, somebody in their family makes them feel like it was their fault. Okay? And that's so a lot of times it's done to them. It's done like that because they don't want them to tell it. So they manipulate them. And then they end up carrying this stuff for years. Like it's wild. But yeah, that's what ends up happening a lot of times. The mother finds out she don't want nobody to know. So she ends up making her child feels like it was her fault. It was something she done. And so once they get to feeling like that, they they don't want to open up now. It's hard to get them to open up. And like I said, this happened to her in her childhood. She was 30 years old when we talked. She was 30 years old. Yeah. Yeah. And she went through a period when we first talked. Like I said, she broke down crying. Then she got angry. And I expected that. I did. I expected that. And I told her that she would. I said at the beginning, you're going to have mixed emotions. Once we talk, you're going to have mixed emotions. I said, so get ready for it. I said, it ain't a lot you could do to get ready for it, but I'm just letting you know what's going to happen. And sure enough, she was crying one minute, and then the next minute she got very angry. Very angry. And I could understand. I understood all her feelings and, everything that she went through. I understood it. It had never happened to me, but I understood it. I understood it all. But she's doing so much better now. She's doing really good now. Yeah, she started her business. She gave up her 9 to 5. Yep, she's really doing good. I'm so proud of her. I really am. Some people need your advice. I'm so proud of what you're doing. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know what? That's why I come on here. I always try to come on here, even if it's late at night. I'll come on here because you just never know who needs to hear what I'm saying. You just never know. I don't worry about if I got a big crowd or whatever. I do the video, and if people show up, they show up. If they don't, they don't. I figure somebody will look at the replay. But I always feel like my video will find who it needs to find. It may not be a whole lot of people, but that's okay. It'll find who it needs to find. Excuse me. And that's just how I feel about that. But yeah, I created a journal. It's called The Quiet Comeback. I think it's a very powerful journey. Journey, a very powerful journal. Okay, and I also wrote a book about me. Um, it's a good book. Okay, it's not everything about me, but it's uh, how can I put it? It's like a short version of my story, right? And some of what I went through and stuff like that. But yeah, I also have that. And I have another journal called the 7 day quiet. How is it? Oh my God, I don't forgot the title. Now, you know I'm losing my mind. I don't forgot the title. But anyway, it's like a series from the Quiet Comeback. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be a series. The way I'm gonna set that up, it's going to like be a series, and I'm gonna get me a Discord going. I set it up already, but I'm gonna get me a Discord because I'm going to actually be giving class on the Discord. You know, and yeah. Yeah, because I love doing this. I love doing this. Is something I really love doing. You ever love to do something and you knew that it was something that you could do to create things for yourself? Well, this is that healing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just got a passion for it. You know, addiction and healing. It's just the two things I just love. I really do. And so it really, because I figure something like this with the wisdom and knowledge I have, it's a lot of people out there that needs it, you know? And so yeah. I can't wait to see how this all come about. I know it's gonna come together, but I can't wait to see it. I can see it, but I wanna see it, if that makes sense. I know what I'm saying, but it might not make sense to y'all. But I see the vision. Let me put it like that. I see the vision, but I can't wait till it all like come to me. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm gonna have cups. I'm gonna have mugs where with affirmations on them. They coming soon. Yep. 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 That's gonna be. I think people gonna love those. Yes, they're going to have affirmations on them. Because you know what I think a lot of people struggle with is being able to talk to their self in a good way without the self-doubt. You know how some people I notice when they talk to themselves, it's kind of in a negative way. When you learn how to talk, that's what affirmations do. Affirmations, if you practice them, I still practice mine, right? And I've been on this journey for a long time, y'all. But I still practice my affirmations because affirmations help you to uplift yourself. Does that make sense? They help you uplift you. And that's why they're so important. Because sometimes we lose that. We lose how to talk to ourselves. And talking to yourself is not crazy, okay? When you answer yourself, then you might want to say, wait a minute now. But y'all know what I mean. But I'm serious. Affirmations help you to uplift yourself. And some of us we don't have it. That's why we deal with self-doubt. That's why we deal with fear. Like when we want to do something, we want to step out and do something different. We deal with fear, self doubt, low confidence, low self esteem, right? And all those things hinder you from going to get what you want to go get. Say for instance, I'm using this for an example. You wanted to start a business, okay? And the minute you started to run the business, you got scared. Fear set in and you just stopped. You just froze. And you really didn't pursue it anymore. That's what I'm talking about. But when you practice those affirmations they lift your confidence. They will lift your confidence. They will lift your self-esteem. You know what I mean? So they very important to practice them. It's very important to practice your affirmations. I put some of those in the journal, right? Because affirmations is going to be a big part of my program. They really are. Because we have to get back and learn how to talk to ourselves in a good way and in a healthy way and in a positive way, because that's what keeps your energy, that's what keeps you feeling good, that's what keeps your energy flowing, is the way you think about yourself. Like when somebody say, hey, how you doing, and you say, I'm all right. No, people say, how you doing? I'm great. How are you? That's the way I do, because I do be great and I claim good stuff. You know what I mean? I'm always speaking positivity. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that because I know I can do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not no, I think I can do that. I guess I'll try it. I think I can do it. No, I'm going to do it because I can do it. You know what I'm saying? That's a big difference when you talk with that doubt. You hinder yourself when you talk with that doubt. But when you come out the door saying, I'm gonna do this, I can do this, and I'm gonna do it, changes the game. It changes, it's a game changer. But some of us have lost that. We have lost that. And we don't know how to speak life into ourselves. Our words are very powerful. Very powerful. You can manifest what you want. You just have to say it and believe it. You see what I'm saying? That's all you got to do is say it and believe it. It sure happened. Let me tell you something. When I was out there in the world, right? Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. When I was out there in the world, I had gave up on myself. No doubt. I gave up on myself. And for some reason, wait a minute, let me wet my whistle. For some reason, I used to sit in this park. And for some reason, every time I turned around, somebody was coming and talking to me. I said, what in the world? I don't know you. Why are you bothering me? He said, I just come to talk to you. I said, I don't want to talk. I got problems. I got problems. I don't want to talk. So he reminded me that God loves me. I said, do God love me? You really think God loves me right now? In the shape I'm in? He said, oh yeah. And listen, this didn't happen just once. This happened quite a bit. Somebody was always popping up on me, talking to me and reminding me that God loved me. I wasn't trying to hear that, and I couldn't hear it because the devil had me. The devil was riding my back. I couldn't hear nothing. I went to sleep on the bench right there in the park. I woke up. I said, God, why you keep waking me up? I'm tired. Why do you keep waking me up? What is the point? That's how frustrated I was at. That's how frustrated I was, y'all. I was giving up. I was giving up. I had lost my mom. It was done. It was done for me. But God said it wasn't done for me. God had a plan for me. And I used to cry and ask him, why do you keep waking me up? I am miserable. I was miserable, y'all. I was. And I used to wake up and be crying, asking God, why do you keep waking me up? I am so miserable. And you just keep waking me up. I don't understand. And somebody was always, like I said, I'm telling y'all, they were angels. I believe they were angels. I believe God sent them down to talk to me, to motivate me, to try to help me get myself together because they kept popping up. Every time I turned around, it was a different person popping up. And I couldn't understand, why did these people keep popping up? I didn't know any of them. But all of them kept telling me God loved me and God didn't want nothing to happen to me and this, that, the other. So when I decided to go in treatment that last time, I said I was done. I said I was done. I wasn't going back. I've been clean over 20 years today. Y'all hear me? All praises to the Most High Yah. It's been over 20 years. God has been so good to me. I asked for a house. I got an apartment first. Now I got a house. I've asked for other things. I have a daughter who's Down syndrome, okay? She's 16. And I have to do everything for her. Let me tell you something. I was going crazy when I got pregnant with her. And I found out she was going to be Down syndrome. Man, I thought I was going to go back to using. I was going crazy. You hear me? Y'all, I was going crazy. Let me tell you why I was going crazy. Because I said, Lord, why would you give me this baby like this? God, please help me. What am I going to do with this baby? Y'all, I was going crazy in my head. So me and her father, we sat down. And he said, Lisa, calm down. Calm down. Let's talk. Let's talk. So we had a long conversation. And I was telling him, I said, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I hadn't been clean, that long. And I just felt like I wasn't ready. But you know what? One day I was sitting in there. He had went to work. And I was sitting in the house by myself. And I was just sitting there. And something said, God don't give you more than you can handle. I jumped and looked around. I said, wait a minute, who in here with me? Who's talking to me? I jumped and looked around because I heard it, and the way it sounded was like somebody was in there that said it to me. You ever heard something in your head, but you heard it, it seemed like you heard it out loud? That's how that was. And it startled me, and I jumped up. And I called my daughter father, and I was like, babe, I thought somebody was in here with me. Somebody's talking to me. He said, Lisa, what's wrong? I said, and I went and told him what happened. And he said, you need me to come home? I said, no, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'll call you later. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm fine. So I went back and sat down. And I said, you know what? Lord, you're right. You have never put more on me than I can handle. You are so right. Do you know I laid down and went to sleep and slept like a baby? I hadn't been sleeping. I hadn't been sleeping because I was up in my head. I laid down and I slept all day. When my daughter father came home, he brought me some food and woke me up. He said, Lisa, you been here asleep all day? I said, yeah. He said, did you eat something? I said, no, I've been asleep. I slept the whole day. He said, you needed that. You been up. You ain't been to sleep. You needed that. I slept that whole day. Do you hear me? because I hadn't been sleeping because I was all up in my head and I was just, oh man, I was going through it. But I heard that and I told him everything that happened. And I said, you know what? I said, it's going to be all right. He said, yes, it's going to be all right. He said, we're going to go through this together and it's going to be all right. So we went on, things happened. My daughter stayed in the hospital till she was like 7 months old. She was about 7 months going into her 8th month before she came home. And so that was a good thing because that gave me a chance to really get myself together. Like for us, we had to get the apartment cleaned and different stuff. We had to make sure we had everything for her and stuff. So yeah, so finally when she came home, y'all, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It really wasn't. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It really wasn't. Because let me tell you, I was so up in my head, I had told her father, I said, we might have to find her home. I said, I don't know if I could take care of her right now. And so he said, Lisa, he said, just calm down. He just kept telling me to calm down. He said, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. We're going to work it out. We're going to work it out. But when she came home, it was so different, y'all. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. She had a lot of issues at that time. Like she was having seizures and oh man, she was on so much medication and stuff. But me and him worked it out. Do you hear me? Oh man, we worked it out. We did. We worked it out. We took very good care of her. And every time he went out, he had to come back with something pink. He was always buying her something pink. I said, babe, she can wear other colors too. You can get yellow and purple and blue. I said, you don't have to just get pink. And he said, oh, okay. He said, I don't know. I just like pink. I just like her in pink. I said, well, okay. I said, buy what you like for her. It's your baby. And so we did. The pieces to the puzzle came together. You know? One thing I've learned, y'all, when you give it to God, you cannot worry about it once you give it to Him. You cannot worry about it. You can't worry about it. You can't keep talking about it because that's like you giving it to Him and now you're taking it back. After I heard that God don't put no more on you than you can handle, my life changed. It really did. It really did. And so after that, later on, my daughter father died. Oh my goodness, y'all. Yes, he died. I was like, wow. you know, yeah, he passed away. Oh, yeah, it was something else. It really was. She said, I gotta leave because it's very late for me, but I love your advice. Keep doing this. It really motivates me. Thank you, Pink Star. I appreciate you. Please hit the like button, y'all, and subscribe to the channel because I got a lot of people that watch me, but y'all are not subscribed. Please subscribe to my channel. You won't regret it. And I'm gonna start usually I come on late at night, because I don't know why I do that. I guess because I be a little busy during the day. But I'm gonna start trying to come on a little earlier, you know. I seen something in my analytics that said 4 o'clock. Most of the people that follow me be on online at 4 o'clock. So maybe I'll aim for that. If not, maybe 6 or something like that. Excuse me. Yeah, but I'm gonna start coming on here a little early and show y'all my face so y'all can see my face for those that haven't. I'm not hiding. It's just that I be done got in the bed when I get on here. I be done got my butt in the bed. So that's why I don't bother to come online. I mean, I don't mind y'all seeing me, with my little pink bonnet on. I don't mind, but But yeah, y'all, I got a story here, and I think we all got a story. But yeah, I'm gonna write a book, y'all. I've been through so much, but God is good because I do not look like what I've been through. It's like when God cleanse you, it's like you get your youngness back. You look youthful. You look younger. You don't be looking like beat up with all the stuff that I done been through. I don't look beat down. But yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's really a blessing, y'all. And like I said, I love you all, and I come on here because I be wanting to uplift you, and let you know that you are worth it. You are worth being good to. Stop thinking that you are not worthy of the great things in life. You deserve it just like I deserve it, just like everybody else deserve it. You deserve it too. And you can get it. Some of us be sitting around, and I know some people do it because I did it. Sitting around with some good thoughts in our head, right? But we won't follow through. We will not follow through. I stopped doing that. When I get thoughts in my head, I take action. I take action now. Oh, yeah. Your girl take action now. I don't let nothing hold me back. If a thought come across my mind and I can make it happen, I make it happen. I sure do. I sure do. And that's what you got to do. You got to start. Oh, I ain't been on here that long. I ain't mean to stay on here this long. Oh, my. I've been on here over an hour. Well, 2 minutes over. I've been on here an hour already. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm getting ready to wrap this up, y'all. I didn't mean to stay this long. But, but let me say this right quick. I don't let nothing stop me now. When I get thoughts in my head, if I get a vision and I can act on it, I act on it. Yes, I do. I act on it. And that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Stop holding yourself back. You in your own way. That's what with a lot of us. That's what a lot of us go through. We get in our own way. You got it up here. You know what you need to be doing. You don't need to be on that 9 to 5 job working like you work. And you got it up here. You got up here what you should be doing. Something that you love to do and that you passionate about. You know what it is. You just don't want to step out and do it. Just step out there and start. I don't care if it's messy. Start. Start. Just start. Start and say to yourself, I'm going to be consistent. No matter what takes place, I'm going to be consistent and I'm going to start. And that's what you do. And let the chips fall where they may. Okay? Because you're going to be surprised of what's going to happen. You're going to be surprised. I'm telling you. I know what I'm talking about. You're going to be surprised of what happened when you just start and stop letting things hold you back. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. I love y'all for real. That's why I come on here and I be telling y'all my story and stuff and sharing stuff with y'all because I want to motivate you and I want you to be the best version of yourself. You know? I love y'all. I do. Hey, keep your head on a swivel. Stay prayed up. And look, I holler at y'all. Okay? Please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, hit that subscribe button. Make sure You hit the bell, make sure it say all, so that when I go live, you will get notified, okay? I love y'all. I'll holla.